Welcome to Zoom in Data. In this session, we will discuss Databricks SQL Warehouses, which are a core component used to run SQL analytics workloads efficiently in Databricks. SQL warehouses are especially important for analytics teams, by users, and interview preparation because they explain how Databricks separates compute for SQL workloads from other processing tasks. Understanding SQL warehouses helps learners explain performance, scalability, cost control, and how Databricks supports business intelligence use cases. This topic is frequently asked in interviews to evaluate a candidate's understanding of Databricks SQL architecture. Key points covered in this subtopic: purpose and architecture of Databricks SQL warehouses. How SQL warehouses execute and scale SQL queries. Differences between SQL warehouses and clusters. Interview-focused concepts and real-world usage. Subscribe to Zoom in Data to continue structured learning of Databricks concepts. What is a Databricks SQL warehouse? A Databricks SQL warehouse is a compute resource designed specifically for executing SQL queries. It provides fast and optimized performance for analytics and reporting workloads. SQL warehouses are mainly used by BI tools and SQL users. They separate SQL workloads from data engineering and machine learning tasks. Why were SQL warehouses introduced in Databricks? Analytics and BI users require fast and consistent query performance. Shared clusters can experience performance issues due to mixed workloads. SQL warehouses isolate SQL queries from engineering jobs. This improves reliability and user experience for business teams. Who primarily uses Databricks SQL warehouses? Business analysts use SQL warehouses to run reporting queries. BI tools rely on SQL warehouses to power dashboards. Data analysts use them for ad hoc analysis. Non-engineering users benefit from simplified SQL access. How are SQL warehouses different from Databricks clusters? SQL warehouses are purpose-built for SQL analytics workloads. Databricks clusters are designed for general Spark workloads. Warehouses provide better concurrency and query optimization for BI. Clusters offer flexibility but are not optimized for dashboards. How do SQL warehouses improve query performance? They use a SQL-optimized execution engine. Query plans are optimized for analytical operations. Automatic caching improves repeated query performance. Concurrency handling ensures stable response times. What is a serverless SQL warehouse? A serverless SQL warehouse is fully managed by Databricks. Users do not need to configure or manage compute resources. Databricks automatically handles scaling and availability. This reduces operational effort and simplifies analytics usage. How does auto-scaling work in SQL warehouses? SQL warehouses automatically adjust compute resources based on load. Additional resources are added during high query concurrency. Resources are reduced when demand decreases. This ensures performance while controlling costs. What is auto-stop and why is it important? Auto-stop shuts down the warehouse when it is idle. This prevents unnecessary compute charges. The warehouse restarts automatically when queries arrive. It helps organizations manage analytics costs efficiently. How do BI tools connect to SQL warehouses? BI tools connect using standard JDBC or ODBC drivers. SQL warehouses act as the back-end query engine. Dashboards can run queries in real time. Integration is seamless and enterprise-ready. What types of queries are best suited for SQL warehouses? Analytical queries involving aggregations and joins work best. Dashboard and reporting queries are ideal use cases. Ad hoc SQL queries perform efficiently. Heavy ETL processing is not recommended here. How do SQL warehouses handle concurrency? SQL warehouses support many users querying simultaneously. Queries are managed efficiently to avoid contention. Auto-scaling helps handle peak loads. This ensures consistent performance for all users. What is query result caching in SQL warehouses? Frequently executed queries have their results cached. Cached results are returned faster for repeated queries. This reduces compute usage and latency. It improves dashboard responsiveness significantly. How do SQL warehouses support governance and security? Access is controlled using role-based permissions. Only authorized users can run queries. Query activity can be audited. This supports enterprise security requirements. How are SQL warehouses used in real-world projects? Enterprises use them to power business dashboards. Reporting teams rely on them for daily analytics. Executives use insights generated from SQL warehouses. They replace or complement traditional data warehouses. How do SQL warehouses help control analytics costs? Auto-stop prevents idle compute usage. Auto-scaling matches resources to demand. Serverless options reduce management overhead. Costs become more predictable and optimized. What is the difference between classic and serverless SQL warehouses? Classic warehouses require manual configuration. Serverless warehouses are fully managed by Databricks. Serverless provides better elasticity. Classic offers more control but requires more management. How does workload isolation benefit organizations? SQL analytics workloads are isolated from engineering jobs. Performance remains stable even during heavy processing. Resource conflicts are avoided. Teams can work independently without interference. What are common interview questions about SQL warehouses? Interviewers often ask about warehouses versus clusters. Performance and cost optimization topics are common. Serverless versus classic questions appear frequently. Real-world by examples strengthen answers. How do SQL warehouses fit into Databricks without repeating lakehouse theory? SQL warehouses act as the SQL compute layer. They query data stored in cloud storage. No data movement is required. Analytics becomes faster and simpler. What limitations do SQL warehouses have? They are not designed for heavy data transformations. Machine learning workloads cannot run here. Custom Spark code is limited. They are specialized for analytics only. How do SQL warehouses support business users? Business users can query data using familiar SQL. Dashboards refresh with near real-time data. Performance remains consistent. Decision-making becomes faster and more reliable. How do SQL warehouses improve collaboration between teams? Analysts and BI users share the same compute layer. Data engineers work independently on clusters. Resource conflicts are eliminated. Team productivity improves. How is monitoring done for SQL warehouses? Query execution metrics are tracked automatically. Administrators can analyze performance patterns. Bottlenecks can be identified and resolved. This helps optimize warehouse configuration. Why are SQL warehouses important for Databricks interviews? They demonstrate understanding of analytics architecture. Interviewers expect clarity on SQL compute concepts. Cost and performance trade-offs are tested. This topic differentiates strong candidates. How should candidates explain SQL warehouses confidently in interviews? Candidates should clearly explain the purpose of SQL warehouses. Differences from clusters should be highlighted. Cost and scalability benefits should be mentioned. Real-world buy examples should be included. Thank you for watching Zoom in Data. If you found this video helpful, like, share, subscribe. More Databricks interview and tutorial videos coming soon. Stay connected and keep learning with Zoom in Data.